Hey, morning, Mark. Morning, Tony.
Good
Good,
morning.
John. Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, doing well.
Okay.
Hey, Mohammed.
Hi, everyone.
Mohammed, if you could put the company name for your profile there. I'm trying to remember how to do it.
You can right click your name. Yeah, so there's a little ellipses in the if you click on your box, and then you can do view profile or rename. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and it's persistent, so it's a one and done. David's going to be joining today. Ping him. Today is 80K. 80K day.
Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. Give me 1 second. I need to set up my hardware on my side. All right, do you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you.
All right. Oh, okay. It looks like my Zoom crashed too, so that's not good. All right. I guess yeah, let's get going. Um, Maybe for the first few minutes, let's talk about the other subject that we have today overlapping on the ADK stuff. Anybody want to share anything about ADK related activities? Maybe Mark, do you have any news, any updates? How are things progressing at IEEE?
Okay, sure. I can give a quick update. Well, there was the meeting earlier today. You know, the IEEE work group is meeting every second week on Thursday morning. In today's meeting, we spent a lot of time actually going over comments that I had provided earlier to the 3D Blocks spec. The work group leader had asked for people to review the chapter 4 of the specification, which is about logical and physical connectivity, primarily. And so I reviewed that and sent 10 questions and comments back. And we spent most of the meeting going over those comments. And the TSMC people had some answers, and in one case, they decided, okay, yeah, let's change it the way Mark was asking, and in other cases, it's up for more discussion. At the end of the meeting, there was a question about whether the effort should be divided into sub-teams that they called tiger teams in order to dive more deeply into certain topics. But the recommendation was not to do that, at least not yet. People like the idea of the whole group being involved instead of having to split things, at least for now.
Okay. All right. That's good news. I'm sorry. What was in chapter 4? I'm not sure if you mentioned. What's the topic of chapter 4?
It's primarily the logical and physical connectivity, but
Okay.
really, I mean, that's what they call it, but it really covers a lot. It covers the 3D stacking description, and it covers bump regions and logical connectivity assertions and physical assertions, and uh, and there's some description about what information goes into the two different primary files. There's the file that describes the chiplet interface, and then there's the separate file that's 3DBV, if I remember right. And then the other one called 3DBX is the one that concentrates on the chiplet instantiation and the 3D stack.
Oh, well, okay. So this is going to have multiple files.
Right. Well, there are multiple files in the specification. Those two are primary files. They also have
Yeah.
other files that are described in other chapters having to do with feasibility analysis, like when you want to check thermal feasibility, and separate files having to do with design rule constraints that
Mm.
are applied early in the process before you necessarily have all the, before sign off when you're dealing with the detailed design rules. They describe a way of describing the constraints earlier on in the process. And
Okay.
those are also separate files.
Okay. Interesting. So what I hear that a lot about I think there's thermal feasibility and power feasibility.
Yes.
They do actually. Mark, go ahead.
Sorry?
Yeah, they do talk about they have some modeling support for thermal and power feasibility. And in fact, what we learned today is that we can share that spec widely uh, for feedback collection, basically. So I see no harm in sending the document over to this collective here, David.
Okay.
Right. I think they just don't want the document to be posted in other places, but
Okay.
we can
Yeah.
share it during a meeting and get comments. So if you want to do that, we certainly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you can, yeah, maybe email it directly to folks, and I won't post it on the OCP folder.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a document in works. Just remember that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was curious about the feasibility because that's interesting that TSMC is modeling thermal feasibility of the product, right? Where it would have other external system components. So I'm curious to see what's on their what's on their minds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for the update. I appreciate that. Looking forward to seeing the document.
I have a question for everyone. So in our CDK document, it was written like we will have thermal models. And so when any like chiplet in CDK creates a thermal or power model and thermal model like JEP 181, where can I find the format of that? Because I believe when you create a thermal model, it will be based on some external environment, such as like how it is placed and all that. Now, if we take that and try to do 3D stack, there should be a derating associated with it. Any thoughts on that? How can we use those thermal models?
Yeah, so the thermal model is, I think if memory serves me right, it was the ECXML, what is known as ECXML. ECXML is meant to be really constrained to the chiplet or to the product or to the stack. And what it describes is basically the 3D geometries, materials, and heat sources, right? It does not necessarily make, it could make, but it's allowed in the format not to specify any external conditions, right? So the idea is when you have multiple chiplets, you take the multiple XML files, you combine them together, and then you would generate one next level ECXML file, right? So think of it this way, right? If you have two chiplets which you are going to stack together, you start with two ECXML files. You stack them in the software. You will import the two files, stack them together, put them on a substrate, and then generate a new ECXML, which will have the all 3D geometries and heat sources.
Okay. Okay.
And it is a
Do we?
JEDEC standard, so you can
Yeah.
you can get access that directly from JEDEC.
Yes. Yes. I
So
will do
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why we adopted that. I know there was some limitations of that, and we had talked to some of the JEDEC folks about enhancing that model. I understand they have made some enhancements. To be honest, I haven't looked at what they've done. But
Okay. I'll read that document.
yeah,
I'll actually go over it from the JDEC. No, thank you so much.
So
Yeah, what
way, as you were talking, I started sharing this specification. Are you seeing what I'm sharing?
yes.
we are seeing your folder.
Oh, are you seeing the?
No, we just see the folder, Mark.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me try again. I mean, if you want me to share the document right now.
No, don't. Just email it because this is going to get recorded and everybody would be able to see it, and that's going to put us in trouble.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right. If you share it here, it's going to be the same thing as putting it in the Google Drive for OCP. So let's
Oh, I
not do
see.
that.
Yeah, I won't do it then. Okay.
Yeah.
So David, I sent you via email. I don't know who else wants it here.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
I think everyone else should have internals to Siemens have access. John, if you need it, ping me. I'll just send it to you, local internal copy.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. This is going to be very useful, and we're going to be able to answer a lot of the questions we had about what's in it, what's not, what the overlap is. So this should be fun. How many pages is this? Let me see. Let me open it.
About
It,
90.
it it's 83 pages. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this as I understand, consolidates all of the whole collection of documents that were kind of contributed throughout the last couple of years on 3D Blocks. So they have consolidated it into one spec, which is good.
Okay. Yeah, I thought Tony, you had mentioned before about hundreds of pages of documents and specifications. This is 83. What
Right.
happened?
So a lot of them were just, additional documents, enhancements. So I don't know the exact process, but I think they consolidated
Okay.
and possibly removed. I don't know the detailed history, but
Some of those are, a lot of those are slide decks explaining the particular sections of the language reference guide, which is 80 pages only. So, yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I only know one person who actually read all of those documents. Now it's less intimidating. So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's good. I'll have something to do this
So-
weekend.
yeah, well, I'm going to be flying over to the OCP conference next week, so I'm going to read it on the plane.
Okay.
So
That's in Dublin?
yeah, so I'm
Okay.
presenting, doing a presentation on the 3D case.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know how it goes.
Figure OCP Europe should know what we're doing.
Yes.
Did I hear you say Dublin, Ireland?
Yes, sir.
Oh, how long are you going to be there for? We should talk offline. That's my home country. So if you looking for
Sure.
some things afterwards, I can give you some good hints.
Yeah, I'm leaving Monday and coming back Saturday, so I have a couple of days while I'm over there. So.
Very good. All right. Very good. So, Tony, do let us know how your presentation goes. Hopefully, there's going to be a lot of interest.
So, David, I sent you an email earlier. Maybe I'll just share it. I don't know if you looked at it, this new OCP group.
Sorry, you sent me an email? No, I haven't seen it, Tony.
No, I sent it this morning.
Oh, yeah, I've been busy since 6, so yeah, I haven't seen it.
So let me just share my screen.
Yes. Yep.
Give me a second. All right. So, all right, how do I get back to Zoom? There it is. I always have a problem finding Zoom again. I'm searching around. How do you find the Zoom window?
You're using Windows, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere on the lower bar, find Zoom, click on it.
Yeah, well, that's what I hit. Zoom Workplace, and Zoom, and I got it. Okay. Share. Where's the share?
Bottom middle of the screen, Tony.
I think web sharing applications should start standardizing.
Oh yeah, you're using the web interface too. So yeah.
Where the heck? Oh, there it is.
And
All right, I'm just going to. All right, can you see this?
yes.
So this is a new work group. So Jawad, I asked Jawad if he knew about it, and he said, yeah, he started it. So anybody's interested, I'm certainly interested in this.
Yeah.
There is a link, so I can.
Yeah, I actually did join the I think it was the inaugural meeting.
Mhm.
It was interesting. But it was the first meeting, so mostly intros and what people do, things like that. I did mention CDX. So I'm not sure if everybody was aware. Probably they are aware. If not, now they're aware what CDX does and what we're doing. Some of the work we have done, and let's see how we can help them. I think they are looking at. I'm not. At least I'm not entirely clear yet at whether talking about chiplet systems, right? Where do the chiplet and the system start, right? How much of that they're looking at the box and rack level, and how much is going to be in the inside the chiplets itself. So we probably do have some overlap that we can help with CDX as a group.
Well, it
So
looks like,
there
the
is,
last thing is help us solve challenges related to chiplet ecosystem. I thought that was our charter. So I'd
yeah.
like to understand the difference and maybe we should merge. I'm not sure we need separate groups, but I'm not around next week, but I'll join they run every
Yeah.
Tuesday, it looks like. So,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's at least my feeling is this is a little bit it's a generic statement, but I do see some differences between what they're trying to do and
Mhm.
what we're trying to do.
Right.
We are really down in the weeds, looking at the nuts and bolts of all the workflows and chiplets and models and generating the actual models. My impression is they're the next level up, at least.
Mhm. Mhm.
Right? Looking at some of the stuff. There's definitely an overlap. Also, I'm not sure if you know that there's another work stream, the modularity work stream, that is looking at. They also do something similar to what we're trying to do with the demo design. They are looking to build a AI chiplet systems, at least demo designs. But
Sounds
they're really
familiar.
looking at the point of view of, okay, if I have a AI model, how do I design my AI chiplet, and how many chiplets do I need, how many memories, what bandwidths, and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's an effort that's very close to what we're trying to do. Just that it's another aspect. So I think we definitely, at least on the design side, definitely have a room to collaborate. I actually pointed them towards the ASAP 7
Mhm.
a library that they can use if they want to do actual chiplets. And I did mention to them they do have in their systems, they do have a CPU piece. And I told them, hey, we also have the RISC-V CPU, so maybe the systems could be our CPU with your AI
Yeah,
chiplets, right? And
that
see
would be
how that
interesting.
pans out, right?
That would be very interesting. Yeah.
But I don't want to merge the two right now. I think if anybody is interested, just attend both meetings, right? Because they're slightly different views of the problem, right? So if we merge both, it will become one big mess, right? So maybe keep it separate for now, and we collaborate as necessary. I'm going to be attending that meeting for sure, and I know that Patricia, who leads that effort, is going to be attending will be attending our meetings. So we are keeping
Sorry,
us.
who runs the meeting?
Patricia,
Patricia?
Luisa Gonzalez is how she appears in emails, but she goes by Patricia.
Could you send me her contact info?
Yeah, she appeared. She was in our meetings a couple of weeks back. Yeah, let me do it after we're done with the meeting.
Yeah, you could just reply back to this.
Yeah.
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 I think we should probably chat a little bit to make sure we're not overlapping, and if we can potentially collaborate together, would make sense.
I think at this time we are definitely not overlapping. Right, because they are looking inside their AI engine, trying to size it, trying to implement it, RTL, things like that, right? Once they come out of that and start looking at the chiplet interface and the package and putting things together, then we have common ground to work together.
Got it. Okay, thanks. I think I stopped sharing, right?
Yep. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the main topic for today, the SIPI stuff. Actually, I noticed that we have, I believe, a new member of the group, um, Aurelian.
Yes, Aurelian, that's correct. That's me. Yes.
Okay. How are you?
Yes,
do you mind introducing yourself?
yes, absolutely. I'm going to admit that I'm definitely new to the group. I work for Altera, also, and I mean Intel used to be a division of Intel that's spinning off, and I am architect for all our FPGAs, platform architect for all our FPGAs. So I deal with the interconnect between the fabrics and the tiles that we have on package, and then I deal with also the user interfaces. I deal with ease of use from customers' perspective. Anything that relate to system level platform architecture.
Very nice. Do you guys have FPGA chiplet yet?
Altera has been having a FPGA chiplet for a very, very, very long time. It's my first.
With UCIe? With UCIe?
No, not UCIe, with AIB. AIB, it is the Altera interface bus. I don't know if anybody familiar with that, but we have our product for, gosh, I joined Altera myself about 8 years ago, and we already have product with Chiplet and the Altera interface bus. And it is open as well. It's not a proprietary bus. We have opened it to the public. It is available. But of course, development with VCI and all those stuff, they are internal, nothing that we make public yet. But of course, we work with VCI as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's interesting because this is Tony Mastriani. I work for Siemens and drive the 3DIC strategy for Siemens. And we were bidding on a government contract a couple of years ago that was using this chipset. With another defense industrial contractor, and I spoke to you guys, the design enablement team, and specifically what I talked about is what we call our CDK chiplet design kit, which essentially we put together to try to standardize on a set of models that would be recommended to provide with a chiplet. So it would include things like thermal models and IBIS models, functional models, physical models. So there's a whole checklist of different things, different test deliverables. And we were as part of that proposal. We didn't get it, unfortunately, but the program never got approved. But pretty much everything that we asked for was available.
Uh-huh.
So that is something I'd love to talk to you guys about perhaps adopting this. This CDX model has now become standardized through JEDEC as the JEP 30 part model. So
Mhm.
we've extended the port model to support chiplets. And since you guys have a chiplet set, I think we'd like to work with you guys if you're interested in creating some standardized models. We're also working on some other government programs. Because is on one of them, and we're also looking to drive some of these initiatives that we're doing through some of these government programs.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I'll be interested. I'll be more than happy to look at what you have already done, and then connect you with our government program teams. I mean, we have a
Well, this
teams.
it's not necessarily part of a government program. This is just
Oh.
yeah. So I mean,
okay, no,
it happened to be a government project, but I mean, I'm assuming you guys are looking at commercial stuff as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have both.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of our revenue on the commercial side. We do have government programs, of course, but most of our revenue is on the commercial
if
side.
you could just shoot me send me your email address in the chat, I'll follow up with you.
Yeah, actually, Tony, I have one idea better, since the CPU chiplet that we're working with already has AIB interface. It would be super cool to actually add an FPGA chiplet to our substrate. So with those models, when we make the models, we can actually put the CPU chiplet in the
Do we have
FPGA
an
chiplet.
AIB model?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
AIB bus that is being used.
So Aurelian, I had a question. You mentioned Altera interconnect bus, but my understanding was Intel calls it advanced interconnect bus. Is it the one and the same?
It's AIB.
Yeah, it's one of the same. We are Altera. We like to call it Altera, but it has a different name. But yes, I don't know that Intel itself, Greater Intel uses it, but it is something that we Altera use for interconnecting the fabric, the FPGA with the transceivers.
Yeah, in fact, it really is a predecessor for UCIe, and supposedly UCIe is backwards compatible to AIB. Whether or not how true that is, I don't know, but
there's a lot of common themes over there. You can leverage a lot of information there. Yes.
I thought AIB stands for awesome Intel bus. No.
Awesome Intel bus. So okay. I guess Altera, awesome Altera, right?
Yeah, awesome Altera. Yeah, you can call it that way. But yes, I think it's advanced the way it is published in the literature. But us within Altera, we like to call it that way. But again, it's just me showing my bias.
Yeah, I think you're right. The official spec is advanced, but I think it came from Altera. You guys invented that. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome to the CDX meeting. We are glad to have you. And looks like we would benefit from your attendance and with your models and open chiplet. I think we should be able to do some interesting stuff.
So they have an FPGA. So if that's got an AIB core, David, we could just hook that and have a RISC coprocessor.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going to take some time to learn. It's the first time again that I'm attending. I need to understand a little bit of the stuff that is done here, but I am absolutely definitely interested in standardizing the work that Altera has done.
Yeah, I can send you some white papers that can give you some of the background information on this.
Please. I posted my email.
If you happen to be in Dublin next week, you can sit through my paper.
No, I won't be in Dublin next week, unfortunately. But please, I will have my email in the chat window here. Feel free to send me the white paper. I'll be more than I read it up and be ready for next week for our next meeting.
Okay, very good.
All right. Okay, let's switch to SAPI then. We have a little bit of time left. John, I know we were gonna talk. I have been extremely busy the last couple of weeks. What's new on your side?
Yeah, no big updates since the last talk, David. If you have time to sync offline, let's sync offline. Get something on the agenda. If you want to
Okay.
set something up with both Mohammed and I, it'd probably be a good idea.
Okay.
This is
Let
on the
me.
SIPA stuff you're talking about, John?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do this right now. I'm sorry, everyone. I just need to put down the time in my calendar, make sure I can make it. How is next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific?
3 p.m. Pacific. That works for me, Dave.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mohammed?
works for me. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will put it down.
Yeah, I'll send out an invite right now.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Oh, sure.
Mohammed, I don't have your email address, so I'm just going to send it to John, and John will forward it to you. Okay. No, time reserved for this. All right. Then let's sync up offline, go over some of the details. And then 2 weeks from today, we can come back and try to present some initial description of what we are going to capture.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Just a reminder, I mentioned that last time, so I canceled the DAC the week of DAC, the meetings, the week of DAC. The beginning of June, I will be traveling. So I'm looking for a volunteer to run the CDX meeting. Think about it. Let me know.
Which week is that, David?
The first 2 weeks of June. What is it? June. Let me give you the exact dates so that we are.
First week I'm traveling.
Okay, so I'm looking for June 5th and June 12th. If anybody would like to volunteer, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, we'll just cancel it and take a summer break. Speaking of DAC,
So what's on the agenda for the week of the 12th?
the 12th is, let's see, June 12th is test.
I'll run that.
Okay. Okay. So
assuming nothing comes up, but I'm available.
okay. So thank you, Tony.
That's the TDK.
Yep. And then the 5th is the SIPA.
Yeah, that I cannot make.
Okay.
Ratish, are you available to drive that one?
Yeah, I can do that, David. You can put me up for that.
Okay, awesome.
5th,
June 5th. June 5th. Okay. So thank you guys for stepping up. I really appreciate it. And as far as the week of DAC, Tony, would you be traveling to DAC?
I'll be at DAC, yeah.
Okay. Anybody else from this team going to DAC? I guess not. So Tony will play it by ear then and try to meet up at DAC.
I'll probably be there. I'll probably be there, Dave.
Okay, awesome. Then we'll play it by ear and meet up, have lunch, dinner, or something.
Absolutely.
You're buying, right, David? I bought last 2 times.
I'm sorry.
Nothing.
Okay.
Said you're buying, right?
Uh, okay. Okay.
That's right. Tacos are fine.
Yeah. Is Siemens feeling that much pressure from the economy, from the tariffs?
No, what I said is I bought you the last 3 dinners. That you're up.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Remember Fogo de Chao, Tony?
Sorry?
Remember Fogo de Chao restaurant?
I do.
The one that we had meet and
Okay,
just
we're
come
even.
afterwards?
We're even.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. All right, everyone. Then next week we'll talk again we'll talk about tests, and I'll meet up with John and Mohammed offline to hash out the SIPI details. And in 2 weeks, we'll try to come back with something tangible.
So,
And
all right. So we still got 15 minutes here. Michael, any updates on the 80K stuff?
No, actually, we haven't had any just progress internally on the 80K. So I've been focusing on getting other parts of the part model sorted out. So I'm hoping that by next week we will finish the HBM4. We're going to be reviewing it later this evening before we start converting it into the XML structure, and then once that's done, we'll be presenting it back into the JEDIC group. But yeah, we do need to make a slot and get working on that ADK.
yeah. Hey, Michael, speaking of HBM4, I saw that JEDIC has released the a standard, but it's only the PDF file. It usually has the Excel file with the bump maps. Do you know if that will be made available?
I don't know, but I will find out for you. I need to send a message to Dale. Thanks for reminding me about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. If they're okay to release it, if you can send me that Excel file, that would be awesome.
Yeah. But pretty soon we'll have it in XML format. So do you still need to have it in Excel?
Sure.
You want it in both formats?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Are you doing the placement or just the pin naming that list?
If we make the part model file, the intent is that we do the entirety of it. So what we've been working through is I think we are working towards setting up the structures, the physical structures, to be aligned with the same grouping methodologies that they used in the Excel file. Because since that's driven by the standard, I think if the XML file is constructed according to the way they have grouped the terminals in the standard, it might be more easy for the industry to adopt it. Now, what we have seen is that we could have made the physical pattern more economical to represent in the part model. But if we do that,
in terms of code efficiency, you're talking about?
Yeah, and then smaller size.
Right.
But if we do it that way, then it's not an easy one-to-one relationship. It's definitely not a one-to-one relationship with how it is represented in the Excel file. And so we backed away from that and said, let's do it according to the way that is represented in the Excel file. it might mean a small increase in the file size. And we're saying, yeah, that's probably okay, because this file size is small compared to the way we had it in Excel, right?
I fully agree. Yeah, relatively speaking to your large test case, this is tiny.
Yeah, so we had two options, right? One, by doing the physical patterns using concepts of terminal patterns, where two or more terminal patterns would be put into a pattern group, and pattern groups could be merged again into a hierarchy of higher and higher levels of pattern groups. So that could represent all the physical side. And then on the electrical side, we could have gone and created regions within regions within regions in the same type of structure, for the purpose of connecting it to electrical properties. What we will be doing this evening is seeing if we could get away with it, just doing one representation, as in, if we can align all the physical structures in the way that the Excel file has it defined, then maybe we can eliminate having to redefine the regions and use the physical structures to also point to all the electrical properties. So, for example, inside in the Excel file pattern, they have a bank of pins that are all to do with power. And we could say, if we represented that bank physically, we could then say, take that bank and connect it to the electrical definition for the power, right? And you don't have to go and create a new representation of that of the power pins. So that's the type of thing we will be discussing this evening after the analysis that we've done. So we've all the prep work, I believe, is all ready now. So it's just a matter now of making some final decisions and converting it into XML.
And
of course,
is JADEC meeting you're talking about?
I hope we'll have it done in a couple of days, and then once we have it done, we will go through this with both JADEC and with yourselves before we will ask JADEC to publish it.
All right. So you're working on this outside of JADEC, you're saying, and then you'll propose it to JADEC?
Well, it is a JADEC standard, so it would have to be released by JADEC. But obviously, I would like to have OCP's input into this as well.
Okay. So you're working on the electrical and physical?
Electrical and physical, yeah.
And are they kind of in the same hierarchy within the JEP 30 model, or can
there's two different pieces in the JEP 30.
Yeah, so I understand the different pieces, but are they associated somehow?
Yeah. So it'll all be in one file. They'll be connected together. Okay. So there'll be a mapping going between the physical and the electrical structures.
Right. Now, a question I had for you. The materials, they're also in the JEP 30. Are they also associated with a component?
They can be, but I have not seen any material data for the HBM4.
Well, HBM4 is a little bit different, but I'm just saying for a chiplet, let's just talk about a standalone chiplet.
Yeah. So yeah, we did that. We had a sub OCP, a subgroup. Mark and Andrew from ANSYS was on that, and so that went into the ballot process before Christmas, and it was published in middle of February. So that structure is available in the part model. If you have the material definition that you want to use for a chiplet, we can put it into that structure and have it compliant for you. Compliant to the part model format for you. So that can be done.
So let's say I have 5 different chiplets. and they all have the same material properties. Would you be replicating that, or would the material properties be defined in one area and then associated with those 5 different chiplets?
It would be if you put the 5 chiplets, let's assume they all come from the same company, then that company is producing that part model file. He could put all 5 chiplets into the one part model file and then refer to one instance of the material.
Yeah, no, that's what I wasn't talking about. So, the thing is, let's just say we have 3 different chiplets from 3 different vendors. We could even make it simpler. Let's say we have 3 different substrates from 3 different vendors, and we wanted to define the material properties for that substrate. So each of those substrates presumably is going to have a different set of material properties, right?
I assume so.
Right. So, but it's possible you have 3 substrates coming from one vendor, and we could we say this set of chiplets use this MDK model, and then for the other ones, you know what I'm saying, or can you define one place and associate it with whatever you want?
Yeah, you can do it either way.
Okay.
But if you had 3 different vendors, each making their own separate interposer, how do you get those 3 vendors to agree on the same material properties?
You probably don't. Yeah. So that's, but I'm thinking, I'm just trying to understand the structure of how this would work, right? So effectively, your CDK would include the MDK, really. It needs it needs
can be
material property associated with it.
You can have it as a separate file, or you can have it as being included into a larger part model with other content.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. Thanks. So it sounds like there's some flexibility there on how we could do that.
Right. Now, we've also started to create this Z structure for stacking dies on top of one another. And as we were going through it, a very simple way that you mentioned before, David, of doing this was to put in the Z element in the existing die array structure, which would be a very, very small modification. But then, as we
let's let's do this. I just got a note from Singman that he has finals and he won't be able to make it to the to the design meeting tomorrow. So why don't we dive into that aspect tomorrow in the demo design meeting, and we can talk all the details. How about that?
Okay.
And
all right.
And everyone can chime in. What's the preferred way?
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, let's do that, because I don't think we're going to be able to complete it now.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I owe you some time, so I apologize. Just it's been crazy. So let's talk tomorrow at 9 o'clock about that aspect.
9 o'clock. Yeah. Fine.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah, 9 Pacific.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, everyone. Anything else for today on your minds? Going once, twice.
Tony, can I talk to you directly after this for a few minutes?
I can give you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes is fine.
All right.
All right.
Right.
All right, everyone. I'll talk to
Thank you.
some of you tomorrow.
All right. Take it
All
easy,
right.
guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.